to the program Issues on ABS Radio and Television. Today, we shall look at effective political leadership. Leadership involves multiple skills and talents, and effective political leadership is an essential ingredient of a vibrant democracy. According to the American revolutionary Thomas Paine, an effective leader is someone who knows when to lead, when to follow, and when to get out of the way. And so in today's program, we shall address political leadership and the qualities that people seek in those they choose for leadership roles in democratic system of government. I am Eze Onwuji, and today we have erudite scholars in the house. Comrade Don Onyenji, Mr. Commissioner for Culture, Tourism and Entertainment, Anambra State.
No, Nigerians and the Anambra.
Right, we also have Professor Cliff Nwanda, Rector, Renaissance Modern Polytechnic in Balgon, of course, former Dean of Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Nnamdi University, Onka. Prof, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Right, let's look at 2023 elections. Effective political leadership. I would like to first of all establish what effective political leadership means as we enter into the political electioneering ahead of 2023 elections. Comrade Don Onyenji.
Well, thank you very much, the music man. Thereby, I greet once more. We're talking about political leadership being effective. This is time for Nigerians to make their choice, who is going to represent them, to lead them at various levels of political leadership. Presidency, National Assembly, State Assembly, governorship, as it affects some states, and political campaigns are on, people are moving from one place to the other, meeting people, campaigning and all of that. Now this is time to really look at them critically, and that, gives us the task of choosing. How do you choose an effective leader? I know checklists are there, who is this person and all of that. While we look at them, trying to make our choice, Kedonia actually vote to it. Kedonia Meta, Kedonia Bolu Bama, Donachitania, Molola Yolo. I didn't quite an Andelo Bolumbo, Focafasialo, Mandemano, Focafasiame. If you look at it, you now can say, yes, this person most likely will be a better person than this other person. Well, we may talk about political parties, which are vehicles too. What is this political party doing for us currently? Is it doing well? If it's doing well, okay, perhaps this person can. And then can this individual do it even better, deviating from the political manifesto and all of that of his party? So many things are to be discussed and, looked at while we consider who can give us effective political leadership. The person who can deliver services as expected by the people. I'll leave you here. While we move on, we'll get down to the brass tacks.
Indeed. Indeed. Professor Cliff Nwanda, let's still establish who a leader is. Of course, the qualities of a good leader, effective leadership.
Okay, thank you so much. In considering these qualities, you have to look at what is good leadership or good governance. Taking the Nigerian political space, for instance, even people who have little political education can point out one or two things that are going on there. Now, we think about constitutionalism, the rule of law. Has it been abandoned? Somebody who is democratic. You're talking about it. You have different styles of leadership. You have autocracy, you have monarchy. But from what we have now, I think everybody is going towards democracy. So that person, is he democratic in his action? That person you will now think that will lead us. What is his attitude towards rule of law? fairness, equity, you know. Even when we are talking about the elections, from the previous ones we had, some people will not even have the patience to go through the process. Election is a process. So we just want to go and hijack the election and announce results. Some people have done it before, they are back again to be voted for. So these are the things we should look out for. So let us look at first what constitutes what we call good governance. And from our hindsight, the people that are now running for this, and the good thing is some of them have held several offices in the past, political offices. How far have they fared? So it's good we know some of these politics before bringing them back.
Right. In the view of former US First Lady Rosalind Carter, a leader takes people where they want to go, but a great leader takes people where they don't necessarily want to go but should be. Let's relate this to political manifestos of political parties and politicians. The Anambra example of Mr. Commissioner.
Thank you very much. Taking people where they ought to go, sometimes not where they want to go. These are two, One is sometimes a leader. In fact, a leader has a vision. That vision is couched from what the people will need. What the people need, not just want. And you place it on law and order. You place it in terms of what the society should be and order the society. If you go to people, some will tell you they need water, road, and all of that. If you go personal, some people will trample on the law. And when you look at them and decide to follow them, if you're not careful, you're deviating from the law. The general good. I'll give you an example. In Anambra, for instance, right now. People want roads. And Mr. Governor, Professor Charles Soludo, wants to do road. He has declared the emergency on roads. Now, some people have built houses on the road lines. So if you look at it, some people say, government, okay, leave us, let things be the way they are. If you want to deliver the road the way it should be, according to the provisions of the law, you have to begin by designing the road. Recognize the setbacks on the road. Setback meaning that there's a distance between the road and houses. Now, in our own case, in this state, in some places, some people have built on the setbacks. They have built on where the road should be. Pedestrian lines and all of that. Walkways. Now, if you touch such places, somewhere will say, this governor is going to do well. It's not doing well. Why is he happening? But for the general good, you must get everybody online, design the roads, and give good quality roads. That is where you have a leader that is focused and that means business. Roads, for instance, we have about 261 kilometers of roads awarded already by the government. Just with less than 1 year. Let me point at Unizik Junction here, temporary site to Isu and Yocha and all of that. Let us also see where some buildings have been brought down, like in Onitsha and elsewhere. Some people have built on the road lines. Unizik, for instance, the government would have brought down some buildings that people have said, please allow us to take some 1 month before you come and bring our houses to those who have gone beyond the lines. And government said, okay, do this quickly so that the contractor can go on. By the time you finish with this road, you see sanity have returned to the environment. It will look like Oborodiocha elsewhere, developed societies. So you do things for the general good, not for individuals who may also assume the role of dismembering the roads, the environment. You are working on your manifesto, which you sold to the people, Like in Anambra, Vision 2070, which is about the people, the development. If you focus in Anambra State, so if you focus on it and work, at the end of the day, some people may not like what you are doing for political reasons, or may not like what you are doing because they've gotten through the fault lines. But at the end of the day, they will be happy, and you've done something that's good for general.
Because you want to take them where they should be,
Exactly.
not where they want to be.
Michael Okpara, late premier of Eastern Nigeria, we are remembering him today because he took some radical decisions. And today it's agricultural revolution. That's what was done there. Today we're talking about regenerative agriculture. So by the time we bring people back in Anambra, you find that everybody, and it so affects every other sector. So that is it. You may say, okay, let's employ 1,000 SAs, PAs, and all of that. Government has employed 5,000 people. You can change the chain this has brought into families. That is employment. That is what you sell to people as a leader, and you're working on it. That is effective leadership we're talking about. Political leadership. So all of these are intertwined. So I met somebody and say, wow, everyone is that is leadership. So where it says where the people want to, there are places where the leader wants to take the people to. Because the difference, at the end of the day, you're putting the ball in the net together and the people will be happy.
And that's being proactive,
Yes.
going ahead of the people. But Prof, let's look at manifestos. We talked about political manifestos there. Do you think that these politicians and political parties are really campaigning according to the manifestos, telling people what they want to do for them, or are they calling names?
Looking at the scenario, it's what have been playing out over the years. People are getting, but I believe that there's an improvement over the years. If you look at the political jingles, slogan, they are beginning to get issue centered, unlike before. And I think I remember during Goodluck's time, people were warned, trying to kind of moderate. But without this moderation, there's a kind of bit of people moderated themselves. You can't rule out the effect of social media. That one is difficult to control because anybody can, we call it steezy broadcast or something like that. Anybody can pick up his phone and just say anything. But coming out from a party now, an institution, coming to engage in hate speech, and I think there's not much of, not that you can't find, but it's reduced compared to what we had over the years.
The program is issues on ABS radio and television, and today we are discussing 2023 elections, effective political leadership. We're in the house with Professor Cliff Wanda, Rector, Renaissance Modern Polytechnic in Bauku, and of course, former Dean of Environmental Sciences, former Dean Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Nandesgo University, Oka, and of course, Comrade Don Onyenchi, Mr. Commissioner for Culture, Tourism, and Entertainment at Anambra State. Effective leadership also involves listening to what is wanted by the led. But since some leaders ignore feedback from their subjects, we relate this to the tax regime in Anambra State.
Okay. Well, there's a difference between need and want. And so, when Anambra did Vision 2070, just like if you want to do national planning and all of that, it's bottom up. What do the people want? Need, not want. So that will guide you in preparing your action plan. There's a place you go to, they will need water. Not even road. Water will be number one, because it's direct to their lives. You get to some places, power and all. So when you calibrate all of this, you now know so that is leadership. But you are relating it to tax. So when we first of all identify the needs and work them out, the making of revenue you use to do this, deliver this, is a different ballgame altogether. You now have to find a way to do it, because for any government to deliver effectively, there must be tax. A lot of our big men are not paying taxes in this country. They celebrate their wealth everywhere. In America, before you or developed society, before you flash your luxury cars and all of those, the government will know how much you are paying. Even in your bank accounts, they will know, and wherever money comes, they will know. But here we do a lot of things with impunity, and then not everybody has the courage to ask people to pay and all of that. And then responsibly paying and using the same. The Anambra, for example, when you did it, your taxpayers, your tax in action. At Sam, we built all the roads it did. Today, we always do that again, handling the quality of roads. Today, we are talking about Soludo quality of roads, because it's roads that should last for not less than 20 years, signed by the contractor, stone based and all of that. So when you're talking about tax and rendition of services, they go together. But again, we're talking about manifestos, sticking to your manifesto, what you promised. So by the time you end or come to the end of a tenure, you have known what we are talking about. Federal government today, the people are judging the federal government. The federal government said change, will bring change under President Muhammad Buhari. It's between you, myself, and everybody to now say we're going to vote for this party or not. It's personal. The campaigns are on. People are talking about APGA in Anambra State, having provided leadership through some governors. B2B was here in APGA, Obiano was there in APGA, and today is Professor Charles Chukwuma Soludo in APGA. If you see the chain of deliveries and what you're having now as a peaceful family of Anambra people, and what is going on within this short period, delivering in all sectors, health, roads, even in culture, entertainment, roads, hotels are coming up here and there now. These are part of tourism, promotion, peaceful coexistence.
Mr. Commissioner, let's exhaust issues from the question I asked. We're talking about feedback from the led. That was why I related it to taxes. A lot of leaders do not make use of the feedback they're led and the society give them. For instance, the governor gave taxes, levels of taxes to shuttle and transport. People responded and then he listened to them.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Professor Soludo has been an international consultant in development. So he knew the essence of tax. But even at that, when he came, he saw that people were paying more taxes. And the shuttle bus and all of that. He checked and saw that they were paying more than they should pay. And then got it made direct, that you're paying direct to government, and then reduced it. But because they were supposed to pay in bulk, rather than 1 naira, whatever you go, every day you pay almost 1,000 naira, and he brought it down to 750, 650. They were complaining because, and then he listened, and I said, okay, even at that, he now reduced it. That is feedback mechanism you're talking about. Yeah. Now the people are relaxed. And he engaged all these groups. Come, let us talk. The government has engaged in the Okada, the shuttle buses, and every group. And we are talking. And there is peace everywhere. We are full of that this is our government. So feedback mechanism is very important. Without taking governance, like Nigerians are crying about the currency change today, and then scarcity of petroleum. We're yet to see what government. Yes, the central bank has reacted and said, okay, we are extending this by 10 days and all of that. What are they talking about? Doing about the petrol scarcity. People are watching and all of that. Efforts are said to be made, but the hard times are still with us. So you need to have the effective feedback. So Ludo, for instance, go Chariman Bako. So anything in Anambra, he knows all the roads. All the roads he's building today is gone to the people, starting from Agwata area to Bokonita to Almaja to even Ayaman area. The other day he went and then flagged on another road. In Oka here and all of that. So you find out that it's about the people. What are they talking about? And if they respond, you know they are responding. These people are happy and chanting congratulations, thank you, Mr. God. So you see, you're dealing with the people, and that is effective leadership. You're working with them. So tomorrow, if the governor, for instance, says, please do this in this election, I nominate this person, I support this person to come and lead you to Abuja or to State House Assembly or National Assembly. The people will listen because they're leader and trusted one another. So there's this need for feedback between the people and the leadership.
Right. Professor Cliff Wanda, do you think, you mentioned hijacking of elections and results and all of that. Do you think that election manipulation will play out this time? Is INEC ready?
Well, I know I've been following their preparations, because once in a while they come on air and tell us, even Mahmoud, I think he was, I saw him on channels today, talking about the preparedness. Well, you can't remove the human factor. But I think with the work accreditation they did, that work, these are new, or let me say innovations, things we didn't see in the past. So they are doing their best to see that we have an election that is fair. But we must not remove the human factor. But all we try to do, or what they will try to do, is to reduce that, whatever you call human factor, to the barest minimum. So that people will now have that feeling, yes, that this election is free and fair.
You think that the politicians, they are the human factor we are talking about?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So they will be controlled and regulated.
Yes, of course.
Not minding.
Of course. Even this beavers is something that will help to checkmate. They've been desperate. Most politicians are desperate. They want to know how these beavers operate, probably to clone it or see how they can. So I believe that INEC has been sensitive to that point, because whenever there's a program and you mention beavers, people will call in to try to understand how it works, So I believe they are on top of the situation.
Right, we want to go, and today we treated the topic 2023 elections, effective political leadership, and in the House we had Comrade Don Onyenji, Mr. Commissioner for Culture, Tourism and Entertainment, Anambra State. He can no.
The music man. Even I can know the by saying I don't go and the EPL, only Sopana, Omena, Nai, culture, my Swasusibo, Omofana, Sopasusibo, Gemaka dress culture, Gemaka help us out, even in the women, I even do my, I and I do up at my candy, what people pass and people them off, man, up a fantasy, Fanchaniness or has room there, kind of Gumakia. Project on a government now for you, so that's what you are there. You can go.
Professor Cliff Wanda, Rector, Renaissance Modern Polytechnic in Baoku, and of course, former Dean, Faculty of Environmental Sciences, Namdas University of Prof. Aina Sedi. No, let's just go more. Very good.
Let me remind the electorate that I talked about the human factor or error, whatever you call it. But we can reduce it by guiding our votes. After voting, don't rush home. Stay and see what happens. Protect those votes. All the very, very important. Remember the case of governorship district in Osun State, overvoting. Once somebody will one vote, whether to or have a number of registered voters, I can't support this thing. So we can do this thing because upon one again, when they see those people not plan those evil, when they see that the chance I draw people have, cage everywhere, they will consider change of action or plans. But everywhere you vote and you run to beer panel to cool off, waiting to hear the result in the evening. What mischievous fellow can just play one of these mischiefs? They for them say, what happened? So please, I'm advising our people, vote and stay and guard your vote. Please protect that vote so that by this time, after the election, we shall be celebrating that we now have a better governance.
Thank you. Thank you very much on behalf of everybody in the house. I am Eze Onwuchi. I wish you well. See you again. Bye for now.